The story begins in the year 1480 in Romania, where Prince Vlad lives happily with his beautiful wife Elizabeth. Vlad loves his wife deeply and often brings her precious gifts. One day, he gives her a golden music box as a symbol of his love. Their life seems perfect, filled with romance and peace. However, that same night, terrible news arrives. Their kingdom is under attack. Enemy forces reach the castle walls. Vlad prepares for war and orders that Elizabeth be taken to a safe place. Before leaving, he goes to the church and prays to God to protect his wife. Then he rides into battle. Meanwhile, Elizabeth escapes through a secret passage with loyal soldiers, but the enemies already know about the route. They attack. Elizabeth manages to survive, but her guards are killed. Vlad fights bravely and uses clever strategies to defeat the enemy. He orders barrels of oil to be set on fire and rolled down from the castle walls, forcing the attackers to retreat.
After a brutal battle, Vlad wins, but his victory turns into horror when he learns that Elizabeth has been attacked. He rushes to find her.
Elizabeth flees into a frozen region known as the Forest of Wolves, where traps are set for wild animals. Her horse becomes trapped, and enemies surround her. Vlad arrives just in time, but his own horse is caught in a trap. He jumps forward and throws his sword at an enemy. Tragically, the sword passes through the enemy and fatally wounds Elizabeth. She dies in Vlad's arms. Mad with grief and rage, Vlad storms into the church. He blames God for failing to protect his wife. In his fury, he kills the priest and declares that he no longer believes in God. At that moment, blood flows from the eyes of a statue. Vlad is cursed and transforms into Dracula. He swears to wait for his wife's reincarnation, no matter how long it takes. 400 years later, the story moves to France. In a mental asylum, a woman named Maria suffers from a mysterious condition. Records show she was born in 1795, yet she appears only 30 years old. A priest investigates and discovers she is a vampire. Sunlight burns her skin. She reveals that her master is a prince searching for his lost princess. Meanwhile, a young man named Jonathan arrives at a mysterious castle. There he meets Count Dracula, the same Prince Vlad. Dracula warns him never to leave his room at night.
Driven by curiosity, Jonathan disobeys and finds Dracula sleeping inside a coffin. He is captured. Dracula tells him his tragic story, how he lost his wife and became immortal.
Jonathan shows Dracula a photograph of his fiancée, Mina. Dracula is stunned. Mina looks exactly like Elizabeth, her reincarnation. Dracula releases Jonathan and sets out to find Mina. Using a magical perfume that allows him to control minds, Dracula turns several women into vampires to help him in his search. Maria is one of them.
Eventually, Dracula meets Mina. The moment he sees her, he knows she is Elizabeth reborn. Mina begins to see visions of her past life. Slowly, she remembers everything and accepts Dracula's love. He turns her into a vampire so they can live together forever.
But the priest and his army attack Dracula's castle. A fierce battle begins. Dracula is torn between his love and the world he has corrupted. The priest tells him that if he seeks forgiveness, the curse may be broken, and all those he turned into vampires will become human again. In the end, Dracula chooses redemption. As he asks God for forgiveness, the priest drives a cross into his heart. Dracula turns to ashes. Mina is heartbroken, but the curse is lifted. all the vampires return to being human. Darkness falls as ashes scatter in the wind. The story ends as a tragic tale of eternal love, where love was immortal, but its final chapter was sacrifice.